Happy Saturday
Happy Saturday.
from your friendly neighborhood guitar
I
dudes.
am currently disguising my beer in my insulated frosty mug
It's a good idea. It's
because it
still
keeps
hot down there.
it is hotter than a mofo. We're still up in the upper 90s. Let's see. Today I was going to church. It was hovering between 98 and 100, not including heat index. So thank you, Texas. So if anybody of you has been wanting to think about, oh, it's Waco, it's Magnolia. How many times have I heard that? Oh, I would love to move to Waco because of Magnolia. No offense to Magnolia, they're great. Chip and Joe, thanks for what you do. But you know what? If you're going to move to Waco, expect this summer. Expect hot.
Hot. Well, it's like here. You move to Seattle and you have to deal with the rain.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's nowhere. You just deal with it.
So, yeah, don't move to Texas because of some celebrity. Don't move to Texas because of me. Don't move to Washington because of Brian. The weather. Don't get me wrong. We're worth the move,
We're
but the
totally worth the
weather.
move.
But the weather, you got to put up with the weather. So
You're either dealing with weather or preparing for weather. That's really all we do from the time we're
that's
born
it.
until we die.
That's it.
So,
So that's pretty much what I've been dealing with lately. But this week has actually been a pretty interesting week because
yeah.
so far I've had some Facebook issues, and it's been interesting going back and forth with them with advertising. So I don't want to get too much into that. But anyways, Facebook, I think there's some kind of Chinese thing going on. I'm not quite sure. Or maybe the Russians.
I think it's the Russians. All that
Russians
collusion.
meddling. It's got to be the Russians.
It's the Russians.
It has to be.
It's totally the Russians.
So I've been having some issues with that this week. In fact, I was reading an article about the psychological aspects of being a musician. One of them has to do with you gotta keep. Well, it has to do with things like stress and things like that. But you have to find a balance. And I noticed that with me. This week it was I either wanted to jam, I wanted to write, or I didn't want to do either. It was one of those three. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just kind of went with the flow.
Totally. Yeah, I finished a song.
Yes, you did.
It's up on SoundCloud, so you can go to my SoundCloud account.
Yes.
I don't know what just go to SoundCloud and type in Brian Claridy.
We'll try to remember to put a link below so
we'll
that
try
people
to
can.
Yeah. So anyway, got another one down. We were talking earlier. There's kind of like that, when you're kind of in the cycle where you're recording, like for a whole album and writing.
Yeah.
And see, the way I do it, is I'll write and then record it, and then I'll go on to the next song. I don't have the mental capacity to handle like 2 or 3 songs at once. It's
no.
one at a time. So it's like after you finish one, it's like you got that week period or whatever where you can just kind of breathe and because my goal is to have this one done by the end of the year.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
So.
Because with yours, it definitely has a nice ambient sound. It really does. I'm kind of sucked into that.
Yeah. I've been. I started. It popped up on my Pandora. This ambient instrumental. One band is called "This Will Destroy You."
What?
This Will Destroy You.
What a great.
They're from Lubbock. They're from Texas.
They really.
Yeah, you got to look them up. And anyway, it's instrumental, but it's real pretty type stuff. But it's kind of has an ambient, haunting kind of vibe to it.
Huh.
So I started really getting into that stuff. And
yeah.
I was like, they use a lot of delay and everything, and so I was like, that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I kind of stole some of their ideas, totally, and
that's part of writing. Yeah.
That's part of writing.
Yeah.
How can I incorporate some of this, this thing I stumbled upon?
Happens all the time. Yeah.
And it's, so these songs I'm writing now, there's no, like my past songs, and I'm doing everything myself, I can do extended guitar solos. There's no solos here. Like these are all, you know, songs kind of build, but a lot of it uses like synth. A lot of it,
Yeah.
a lot of it's just playing harder. Actually using. I fell in love with that, just a Stratocaster sound.
Yeah.
That pickup, like one click back from the neck pickup. It's like the sweet spot. And
Once you find it, you know it. That's the beauty about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that's the sound. Like
Yeah.
the records I heard when I was a kid. Okay, that's Dire Straits and Pink Floyd. Okay, that's a Strat. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's what. It only took 30 years to find it, but
that's all. Only 30. Oh,
that's all.
Yeah, but whenever somebody is wanting to record, especially guitar, I mean, you could pick any instrument, but since we're the guitar dudes, we're talking about somebody's picking up a guitar for the first time and they hear their favorite song and they want to emulate that, and they're like, man, I would love for it to sound like that. And we've kind of talked about this before to some degree about sound and tone and all that, but I have spent in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've easily spent hours and hours trying to find the right mic and the right placement to get the right sound. In fact, I brought here, and I know we talked about doing something like this, and I went ahead and grabbed them. And that is the mics that I use. Now,
nice.
This one here, Shure SM57. This is a great mic if you're going to use it for miking your guitar cabs. This is great.
So from what I understand, that's that's a pretty good all-purpose.
This is all-purpose. Yeah, you can mic percussion with this. Amps with this.
That's what I use.
Yeah, this is a great.
What kind of mic is that?
This is a dynamic
mic. Those of
mic.
that don't know.
Yeah, this is known as a dynamic mic. So it's a high pressure mic. It doesn't distort very easily, which is nice. The only thing is that its pattern is very small, so it's only going to reach just this small area. Everything out here, it's not going to pick up. So if you want that very directional sound, it's great. So miking a cab or something like that, an amp, it's great. You just point it at the end of the cab, point it in about an inch or so off the face of it, you get a great sound. Only thing is, now on my last album, I used this to record acoustic guitar, and because I was using the acoustic for more of a background, it didn't really matter. It was okay, but since I'm doing more instrumental with just the acoustic, I tried this over and over. I tried moving forward, back, sideways. I tried every which way. It kind of sounds like ass. It's a real thin sound. It's either going to be too tinny or too boomy. So I use this mic. This mic here is known as a condenser mic. It actually requires its own power, 48 volts phantom power. Now, what's nice about this is this picks up a much bigger surface area, so you're going to cover a much bigger range as far as sound goes. Now, this one is an older mic. This mic is actually from the early to mid 80s. It's a great mic. I've used this on vocals. I've used this for everything condenser related. The only downside is that because it's old, you can tell its age. So I'm going to pull the one that I've been using. Now I'm actually using the mic for the sound here, so I'm just going to show it to you and hopefully not sound too stupid. But I'm actually using this one here, condenser microphone. But what I'm doing is I put it 1 foot away and I put it at the 14th fret. And I know you can't.
Right.
I'm pointing. You can't really tell that's the 14th fret. I'm looking here, but you foot away, 14th fret, and what happens is you're going to pick up the entire guitar. You put it too close to the sound hole. It's kind of like, would you listen to a guitar from the ear or from the sound hole? I'm going to say ear hole. No, you wouldn't put your ear hole in the sound hole. So
keep that ear hole out of the
let me get some
hole.
beer so I can talk. Damn it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna fix it. So, anyways, that the idea that you're just gonna throw a mic up and it's gonna sound like what you hear from these acoustic tracks, it's not gonna happen. I've watched videos. And the only downside with these videos is they're like, listen to the difference. I'm like, I can't tell jack shit between, oh,
Yeah.
well, this is too boomy. I can't tell. You can't tell listening on like a YouTube video. So that's
No.
why I'm not going to even bother demonstrating. So that's what I'm saying. A foot away, roughly a foot away, use a condenser mic. And here's the thing is, this mic is $1,000 mic. Actually, maybe worth more than that because they don't make this Sony. This is a Sony C48. They don't make these anymore. The mic that I used, the one that I just pulled out, I don't want to mess up the sound, but that one was a $200, maybe $250 mic, and the cheaper mic actually blows away the higher end. So, like we talked about before, you don't need high end equipment to sound really good. That $250 condenser mic blew me away. Still blows me away. But at the same time, would I use a condenser on an amp? No, I'd use the
SM.
I'd use the 57. Yeah.
Yeah, the mic I use is it's an Audio Technica.
Those are really good. Yeah.
It's the SM57, equivalent.
Yeah.
And I recorded everything with it, and on my wish list is a condenser mic.
Well, see,
but,
Audio Technica makes them. That's the beauty about it is that whenever you hear about mics, you hear about Shure and you hear about Audio Technica.
Mm-hmm.
And they're super, reasonably priced.
Yeah, absolutely. And and again, a lot of times the room you're in makes a difference. Even the furniture in the room, how it's arranged.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a room that's packed full of crap, like an episode of Hoarders,
yeah,
you're gonna get more of a muffled sound.
Yeah.
I always say I record acoustic guitar oftentimes in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I'll put the mic I'll angle myself in the corner somewhere.
Right.
So I'm using the room's acoustics, and it's just bathrooms have it's usually a pretty empty room.
Oh yeah.
And so you have pretty good acoustics. I tell you, speaking of sound and mic placement and everything, I highly recommend. You can find it on YouTube, I think. It's Cowboy Junkies Trinity Revisited.
What is it?
It's called the Cowboy Junkies is the name of the band. And actually they did an album called the Trinity Sessions.
Yeah.
And then they redid it live, and it's called Trinity Revisited. Anyway, they recorded this album, and they have a female singer who's just incredible. And it's a real laid-back album. They do some Hank Wood. They do "I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry."
Really?
And but they recorded in this church, and I can't remember what the name of the church is, but the acoustics in that church that's what made the sound on that album.
Yeah.
Was the acoustics in that church.
Right.
And when they went in, they didn't have a huge production crew or anything.
Right.
They recorded the original album.
Yeah.
They didn't have much of anything. They just kind of mic'd the room.
Right. Exactly.
And then and studios were built that way too, where certain parts of the room are angled certain ways, or soundproofed here and there.
Right.
So it makes a difference.
It does, and I think that that's why that a lot of people nowadays don't want to go through the rigmarole in trying to get a mic and set it up. I mean, even if you've got all the recording equipment, whether you use Pro Tools or I use Logic Pro X for Apple, and even if you've got the entire setup, MIDI, everything, I think a lot of people don't really want to take the time. They just want to throw a mic up and think that they're going to get this amazing sound like they're going to get in $1 million studio. It's not going to happen. You have to move the mic around. You've got to. It's all about placement, acoustics, like you said.
These mics are so directional.
Yes.
Where just the slightest, and then it may be, you're not going to know when you're recording, but when you
Yeah.
play it back, I mean, the difference is huge.
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
In fact, like on mics, they've got different polar patterns. So for instance, with this mic here, if I set it to what's known as a cardioid pattern, it's going to pick up everything around it. There's figure eight, so it's going to pick up both sides. There's omni, so it's going to pick up the entire room. So if you want a room mic, that's what you would do. In fact, the one that I used, what the hell did I use? Okay, yeah, I used a cardioid pattern when I did my acoustic guitar track, which as Brian just recorded one, I recorded one as well. So just spending hours just coming up with it. But something else is with the effects, so that people can listen to your song. What kind of effects did you use? Because it was a mind blowing song. Listening to, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I mean, it was great. It was ambient. It just kind of made you just go, huh. Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, like literally, I'm like closing my eyes. It's like what, 12:30. You said it's like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm watching Netflix. You're like, hey, check this out. I'm like, sure. So I'm just like, oh boy, this is nice. It was a long effing day, so it's like, oh, this is nice. But what sounds, what effects did you use to
And
to
by the
get
way,
that?
and first of all, this is the difference. Me and John are on a 2-hour time difference.
Yes.
So with me, it's like 10:30 at night. I'm just like, hey, John, check this out. And then sometimes I'm like, oh shit, it's like 12:30 there, and it's
a good thing of a
Tuesday.
night out. I'm like, I'm like 3,
Yeah.
4, 5 sheets under the breeze. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, yeah. So, by the way, I'm just gonna toss this out there. Brian wears a hat most of the time. So tonight I'm wearing my Axl Rose bandana.
Patriotic. I've even got a
Patriotic.
little part of my
I might even
American
go a
flag.
little Cheech and Chong. I don't know. I'm still.
I want to
so
watch that now. tonight.
Send some messages. And not to get all racial, but Cheech and Chong is great. We grew up with Cheech and Chong.
I watched it last week.
Mexican American. Beaners.
Yeah.
Beaners. Mexican American. Those songs, So anyways, I'm patriotic going with my bandana. So be sure to comment below, or you can message the Wizard of Oz at idon'tcare.com. So anyways.
So the sound.
Sound.
Well, I recorded two because basically, it's just one. Well, it's a couple guitar tracks, but the main, main riff there, I recorded it two ways. I recorded it direct, which is right through my Boss. It's
Right.
the GT1. I don't know what pedal it is. I'll see if I can remember for the next video. Anyway,
Yeah.
I tried it with a pedal, and then I tried it live.
Yeah.
We're live meaning I mic'd the amp.
Yeah.
And the amp just blew it away. It was a Blues Junior.
Okay.
And it just sounded great. But the effects I used is I just used my Strat.
Yeah.
In that same pickup position, just one back from the bridge.
Okay.
One back from the neck, I mean. But I run it through it's a Fender, it's a 65 Bassman replicator pedal.
Yeah.
So it kind of takes and I've got it all dialed down pretty low. It just adds a little bit of color.
Yeah.
Because the 65 Bassman, it was a bass amp, but guitar players adopted it, and it's been a popular guitar amp. Anyway, it adds a little more. I can't really describe how it colors the tone, but it just kind of raises that whole energy of your amp up just a little bit.
Yeah.
But then from there, it just goes through it's a Fender delay pedal.
Right.
And I had it set kind of moderate, not a tape delay, but kind of a moderate, kind of like a halfway delay, where it's almost like not quite a slap back, but just a little bit beyond that. One past the slap back.
Right.
Well, I run that into a analog delay. So I run two delay pedals.
Really?
So I run one, which is a little bit faster, kind of like
Yeah.
that tempo, like that.
Yeah.
But I'll run that through the next pedal, which is an ambient, or which is an analog delay pedal.
Yeah.
It's a BBE 2-timer, which is it's like a $50 pedal, but it's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, BBE 2-timer. I highly recommend it. But anyway, I have it set where the gate is almost wide open, where it's almost a swell effect.
Yeah.
So I'm running a kind of a choppier delay into a kind of a swelling,
Yeah.
But as it swells, those delays are still trailing off. And so it's kind of like it chops up and then it kind of flutters down. And,
Yeah.
So basically that second delay pedal just kind of slows the return down a little bit and lets it hang there. So, and usually there's some effects that don't go well together, like delay and reverb.
Yeah.
Like if you have the reverb set to 10 on your amp, I mean that's gonna drown out a lot of delay. So
and it's how you set
to,
it up, right? I mean, because if you put delay or reverb first, or reverb versus delay, is there a difference with that?
Yeah, definitely. And so I just run reverb last, and I just have it set on the amp at like 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And not 4 o'clock, but number 4.
Number 4, yeah.
Yeah, and
4 o'clock would be loud.
4 o'clock is loud. Yeah.
But
no. Yeah. But no, and it worked. It's a lot of when you're playing with delay.
Yeah.
You kind of want to, especially ambient style guitar.
Right.
You don't want it to be too. You want it to be subtle.
Yes.
But it's a lot of vapor trails. A lot of your notes will trail off instead of just straight up and down, which makes mixing kind of a chore.
Well, but that's what's interesting about ambient is that you're playing these long.
Right.
So these long notes, but you've got the effects, like you said, it's trailing behind it, it's building on that. Whereas with an acoustic, if you were to plug an acoustic directly into your interface, into your digital interface, into your recording software, it would sound thin and tinny. Mm-hmm. Plugging your acoustic up direct. If you have, of course, I'm using my classical, but if you had your acoustic electric, you plug that up. That's fine for live, but that's where you want to mic it. Versus what you're doing with Ambien. Just like what you said, Ambien. I just said the sleeping pill. I just now realized that. Okay, like time for another beer. Here we go. All right, we're going to start a new rule. Every time that I say something stupid, I have to drink beer. How about that? Every time. Shit. All right, let's just go and bring a case out right now. It's 11:15 Texas or Central Time. But like with what you're doing with your ambient music, you can do that. You can run everything direct. Have full control. You don't have to worry about having bleed over and all that.
Yeah. A lot of it, and a lot of the synth GarageBand is really cool. They added a bunch of new synthesizers, really? and they have a lot of vintage synthesizers like ribbon type synth and stuff like that. And you have quite a bit of control over it.
Yeah.
And so I'll kind of. I'll add these little textures and these little, just kind of randomly in the middle of a song, I'll have like these little, cascading, that are just sort of everywhere. But
it's a building process.
And it's easy to do too much with ambient type music.
Yeah.
It's easy to make it sound too, and. So anyway, I think it's a kind of a learning experience, but
it is.
It's a good way to, you kind of set a vibe and you kind of play within the confines of what that vibe is, and and what's neat is with this kind of stuff is, I think it would do really well live.
Yeah.
Live type setting, because these songs have so much room.
Yeah.
So much space for you. And I love songs with space where,
Yeah.
When you see songs that are performed live, you can totally just go off,
Right.
into, these extended jam sessions and stuff. And you
Oh
can,
yeah.
so anyway, that's what I've been doing.
But that's and everyone. That's what makes being a songwriter so fun. It makes it such a journey. So, and I use that word a lot, journey. It makes it exciting because
Yeah.
you really never know. I never
No.
thought I would be owning a classical. I never thought I'd be playing instrumental. I don't know about you, but did you ever see yourself playing ambient guitar?
No. No.
And I almost said something stupid. Oh crap. I thought about it. So, anyways, I thought about it. So I caught myself. But we're doing things that we never thought we would be doing. But it's fun. So we've got a few minutes left. So anything you want to jam to? I've picked the last couple. So I thought.
Yeah, I'll throw a little blues lick down that I've been picking on here lately,
All right.
and it's
What key's it in?
A. I figured out that like 90% of what I play is in A.
I play a lot of D and I play a lot of E flat minor. So
Yeah. I don't know. You know why? I think because A is the laziest chord you can play because it's just one finger. So, all right. Here's a little blues, and I hope I don't F it up.
Very cool. Well, you know,
Yes.
because normally you do lead and I do rhythm, so hey, sometimes you gotta switch it up. I was just like, you gotta feel it.
You gotta feel it, man.
You gotta feel it, man. What's the blues?
And that's what I'm feeling tonight.
Well, I'm gonna go drink some more beer. So we.
Yeah,
will,
I'm gonna
oh wait,
right
what?
behind you.
What? Comment, subscribe,
Comment, like, subscribe.
tell your friends, enemies.
We need some haters too. Any of you haters?
Yes, and groupies. If you are 18 or older, women wouldn't. Of course, Brian's married. I'm not, so I'm just tossing it out there.
Well, hey, you can have a wife and a girlfriend as long as they don't find out about each other.
Let's just hope that the missus that's staying in. So we need some haters, and some
haters and hoes.
Hey, we're going beyond boats and hoes. We need haters and
Haters
hoes.
and hoes.
Hater, not taters. Haters.
Haters.
Although taters does sound kind of good right now.
Do you have like some garlic taters? Like salt and pepper?
Texas
Haters.
taters.
Haters, taters, and hoes.
Hey, wow, that's exactly.
That's what I'm going to title my next my debut country album.
I need beer. Shit, I'm almost empty. Haters, taters, and hoes.
Haters, taters, and hoes.
That's copyright. That's right. So Guitar Dudes Inc.
Guitar
Trademark.
Dudes Inc. 2018.
That's right. That's right. Trademarked right here. Haters, taters, and
Taters
hoes.
and
You can't
hoes.
have it. You can't have it. No, it's ours.
Good night, folks.
Good night.